Last month, a VFX supervisor at a major London house walked onto the floor, looked at a team of 20 compositors, and made an announcement that should have terrified everyone. By next quarter, half this room will be using AI-assisted rotoscoping. The other half won't be here. But here's the part nobody expected. The people who left, they weren't fired. They quit. They saw the writing on the wall and pivoted to roles that paid 40% more. And the people who stayed, they didn't take pay cuts. They got promoted. If you're in VFX right now, or you're thinking about entering it, you're standing at the exact same fork in the road. And the direction you choose in the next 6 months will determine whether you're thriving or obsolete by 2027. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which VFX roles are actually growing, which ones are being hollowed out from the inside, and the one specific skill that turned a nervous junior comp artist into a lead technical director in 18 months. But first, we need to talk about the lie that started this whole panic. Let's be honest about what you've been hearing. AI is replacing compositors. Generative video will kill VFX houses. Why hire a team of 50 when one guy with a prompt can do it? If you believed even half of that, I don't blame you. The headlines are relentless. And when you see AI generate a full cityscape from a sentence, it's easy to think, well, that's it. I'm done. But here's the surprising fact that should make you pause. VFX industry revenue grew last year. Not shrank. Grew by about 12% globally. So if AI is killing VFX, why is the industry making more money than ever? Because AI isn't replacing VFX. It's replacing the bottlenecks inside VFX. The parts of the job that made artists want to throw their monitors out the window. Rotoscoping, paint-outs, tracking cleanup, match-move drudgery. The studios aren't cutting budgets because of AI. They're taking the money they used to spend on tedious labor and spending it on more shots. More versions, more creative iterations. So the work isn't disappearing. The nature of the work is splitting into two completely different categories. And if you're on the wrong side of that split, you're in trouble. But what does that split actually look like in a real facility? Walk into any major VFX house in 2026, and you'll see something that didn't exist 3 years ago. A two-tier system that has nothing to do with seniority. Tier 1. Artists who spend their day cleaning up AI output. They run the roto AI, fix the edges, patch the errors, and deliver the plate. They're busy, they're employed, and they're terrified because they know their entire value is, I can fix what the AI got wrong. Tier 2. Artists who tell the AI what to do in the first place. They understand photography, lenses, light behavior, and physical accuracy. They art direct the AI. They spot when a generated element violates physics before the director sees it. They build the workflows that everyone else uses. Tier 1 is a shrinking ceiling. Tier 2 is a rising floor. I know a compositor, let's call her Maya, who spent her first 3 years doing exactly what I just described. Roto, paint, cleanup, the digital equivalent of washing dishes. When AI Roto arrived, her entire department went from 12 people to 4. But Maya didn't get laid off. She made a move that seemed suicidal at the time. She asked to shadow the technical directors for 3 months. No extra pay, just observation. 6 months later, she was building the AI-assisted comm templates that her old department was using. She wasn't cleaning up the AI anymore. She was architecting how the AI fit into the pipeline. Her salary doubled. Her job security? She says she gets recruiter messages weekly. And here's the unexpected twist. Maya will tell you she's not a technical genius. She just understood something that most VFX artists are still missing. Here's the belief you need to challenge. Knowing Nuke or After Effects is enough. It isn't. Not anymore. AI can composite a shot. It can match color, blend edges, and even fake camera shake. What it cannot do, what it fundamentally does not understand, is why a shot looks real. It doesn't know that a 35mm lens at f/2.8 has a specific bokeh character. It doesn't know that blue spill from a sky should interact with skin subsurface scattering in a specific way. It doesn't know that the director is referencing a 1970s film stock look because the story is set in a memory. That knowledge? That's photography. That's cinematography. That's visual literacy. The VFX artists who are thriving after AI aren't necessarily the fastest node wranglers. They're the ones who can look at a plate and say, the AI added a building reflection in the window, but the sun angle is wrong. It would never catch that face at 4 p.m. in October. That correction requires understanding light, time, geography, and optics. It requires being a filmmaker, not just a technician. And here's the part that should excite you. This gap is enormous. Most junior VFX artists enter the industry knowing software and nothing else. They can track a shot, but they can't tell you why the tracking markers were placed wrong for the lens distortion. The artists who fill that gap, who study photography, who shoot their own reference, who understand cameras as physical objects rather than digital abstractions, are becoming irreplaceable. But photography isn't the only moat. There's another one that's even more technical. Remember when real-time engines were just for games? Yeah, that ended. ILM's stagecraft, Wada's virtual production pipeline, Framestore's real-time previs divisions. The biggest VFX houses on Earth are now running Unreal Engine and Unity inside their facilities. And most traditional VFX artists have no idea how to work in them. A real-time comp isn't a render queue. It's a live environment. You change the lighting, you see it immediately. You move the camera, the parallax updates instantly. You don't wait 4 hours for a beauty pass. You make the decision in the room while the director is still paying attention. The artists who can move between Nuke and Unreal, who understand both the offline precision of traditional VFX and the immediate feedback of real-time, are becoming the bridge builders. I spoke to a VP supervisor last month who told me something wild. I'd rather hire a mid-level Nuke comp who knows Unreal than a senior comp who refuses to touch it. Think about that. Seniority, in some cases, is now a liability if it comes with rigidity. The real-time invasion isn't replacing compositors. It's replacing the workflow that kept compositors in the dark for hours at a time. And the artists who learned that workflow early are writing their own tickets. But not everyone should stay in VFX, and pretending otherwise would be cruel. Let me be direct with you. If you got into VFX because you love the idea of painting out wires and markers for 8 hours a day, you need to know something. That job is being automated at light speed, not in 5 years. Now, if your entire value proposition is patience, I'm willing to sit here and clean up frames that most people find mind-numbing. AI has infinite patience. You cannot out-patience a server farm. So who should stay? Stay if you love the image. If you genuinely care about why one shadow feels right and another feels wrong. If you get excited about camera lenses, grain structure, and the way light bounces off wet pavement. If you want to be the person who directs the tools rather than operates them. Pivot if you're only here for the paycheck, and the paycheck comes from tasks you hate. Because those tasks are the first to go. The future of VFX isn't fewer artists. It's different artists. It's smaller armies of technicians and larger teams of image makers, technical directors, and real-time generalists who understand both the art and the engine. VFX in 2026 isn't dying. It's splitting, and the side you end up on depends entirely on whether you're adapting now or hoping the old model comes back. If this video gave you a clear picture of where to aim, here's what I need you to do. Hit that subscribe button, because this channel is where we talk about the real state of creative careers without the panic and without the fluff. Every week, I break down what's actually happening in VFX, 3D, and game development, and how to position yourself so you're not caught off guard. Drop a comment and tell me, are you in VFX right now? Are you seeing this two-tier split on your floor? Or are you trying to break in and wondering where to start? I read every single comment, and your experience helps shape what we cover next. Like this video, if it replaced your anxiety with a plan. It tells YouTube to put this in front of other VFX artists who are spiraling right now and need clarity. Share it with that friend who's been doom scrolling about AI killing their calm career. Show them the other side of the story. The work isn't going anywhere, but the job description is rewriting itself. Make sure you're holding the pen. See you in the next one. Take care.